We begin with new developments within the hour involving allegations against former Spur Josh Primo, who was abruptly cut by the team an hour before their game against Chicago on Friday.
Houston attorney Tony Busby has confirmed that he now represents a former consulting psychologist for the team and will be holding a news conference this Thursday. That's according to AL.com. With more now, let's check in with our Greg Simmons.
And since the reports say there are multiple women involved, this just could be the start of these things here. After the Spurs dropped a bombshell on Friday, ESPN reported on Saturday the reason for the sudden action of departing with a lottery pick. Multiple women had accused Primo of exposing himself, including Dr. Hillary Coffin, according to AL.com, who will make a statement during the press conference on Thursday and take questions afterwards. Busby was the same attorney who represented 25 women who filed civil lawsuits against a former Texans quarterback, Deshaun Watson, for sexual misconduct during massages. Since being released by the Spurs, Primo has now cleared waivers as an unrestricted free agent. More coming up in sports.
All right, thank you, Greg. In other news now, a hoax forcing a lockdown at Central Catholic High School. San Antonio police did clear that school quickly, and all students were accounted for. Yeah, our Lee Waldman joining us live outside of the high school, right across the street from the KSAT studios. Lee, there's a growing trend of false shooting calls across the country right now.
There is, between what happened here at Central Catholic High School today and the false report of a shooting at Jefferson High School last month. This is a troubling trend for San Antonio police. Within minutes of this call coming in at Central Catholic, one officer on scene told us he believed this was a spoofing call and they couldn't get back in contact with the caller. That was then confirmed later by SAPD Chief William McManus. McManus says regardless of the validity, his officers and San Antonio Fire Department are taking these threats seriously, especially following that tragedy in Uvalde. He says he believed this call today was a part of a trend across the country called swatting.
There have been calls all over the country, swatting calls, and we believe that this is, well, not believe that this is one of them, and this was one of those calls.
Swatting is the act of making a false report of a serious emergency to draw a large emergency response. McManus says at this point they don't know if that call came from anyone here locally, and at this point no one is in custody for making that report. He says calls like this one that we saw here at Central Catholic today make investigators' jobs very difficult. Live outside of Central Catholic High School, Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Lee. An apartment complex catering to UTSA and other college students slammed with thefts over the weekend, some at gunpoint. Really scary stuff. SAPD logged 9 calls for service on Sunday morning for things like robberies, burglaries, vehicle thefts. This happened at the Tetro Student Village in the 7000 block of North Loop 1604. Now, KSAT 12 spoke with 2 people who say that they were robbed at gunpoint.
This UTSA sophomore, who wants to remain nameless, was sleeping Sunday morning when he says he felt a presence.
Woke up and I saw this random stranger in my house, and he said, "You're good," slammed the door.
He went to grab one of his roommates, but when they checked upstairs, the intruder pointed a gun at them and said he wasn't playing.
He tells us that he's cool and that we'd be friends if this wasn't happening. He took out the mag, and then he accidentally shot it, and you can actually see the bullet hole right here.
He said the robber made off with an Xbox, along with shoes and clothes. And another roommate who wasn't home for the robbery said his car was stolen using the spare keys from his room. It was recovered, though, outside a different building of the complex, where another UTSA student who also wanted to remain nameless opened his bedroom door to a knock he thought was his roommate.
I just got a gun in my face with a flashlight, and they're just like, "Give me all your stuff."
The college junior tried to protest the thief taking his laptop.
He put the gun right here to my forehead, and he's just like, give me everything. I was like, "Man, just take it."
And while he says the thief ultimately left the computer, the victim says he took other electronics, shoes, and cash. Victims from both apartments say it was this man, 23-year-old Felton Brady III, who had the gun. Police responding to the complex chased Brady down and caught him at a nearby McDonald's. He was booked on 4 charges of aggravated robbery and 1 count of evading arrest. And while the victim told KSAT there was at least 1 other person involved, we were unable to confirm that with police before the end of business on Monday. Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
He was shot by a now fired San Antonio police officer, now a teenager riding in Eric Cantu's car when he was shot October 2nd, said he fled from police the night before. Turns out he actually fled from the same officer. The now 18-year-old, described in SAPD records as Cantu's girlfriend, told investigators she had first hesitated getting back in the car after he sped off from an officer near Highway 281 in Bidders October 1st. Department records show that vehicle from the evading incident was the same one that Cantu was parked in when he was shot just over 24 hours later by Officer James Brennan, and that it was also Brennan who had attempted to pull him over during the first encounter. SAPD has not released records of either incident publicly. However, KSAT Investigates was able to view and confirm them. Cantu, shot multiple times, continues to recover at a hospital. Brennan was fired from the department, then charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault by a public servant. He is free on bond pending indictment.
Guilty. That was the verdict for a San Antonio woman who was charged with the murder of her 4-year-old daughter. The jury took just a little over an hour to convict. Erica Hernandez gives us a closer look at the case and what's still ahead.
The jury found the defendant Jessica Briones guilty of the offense of murder as charged in count 1 of the indictment.
After many hours of testimony, the jury wasted no time in finding Jessica Briones guilty of the murder of her daughter. On September 5th, 2017, Briones took her daughter Olivia unresponsive to a SAPD substation. The little girl had numerous injuries throughout her body and died a day later. Olivia's injuries and how they were probably caused by a metal bracket was a focal point for the state.
She doesn't look like someone who's capable of killing her child, but that is what she did.
The defense had its own theory throughout the trial that Olivia had fallen down some stairs and that the lead SAPD detective didn't investigate it.
There's no evidence of a fall down the stairs because Barnes and her team didn't bother to gather that evidence.
I think you knew once those witnesses started talking, once you saw those injuries, that this was no accident.
Now that Briones has been found guilty, the punishment phase in this trial begins, and the state is seeking life in prison from the jury, and they could be deciding that sentence as early as tomorrow. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
An 18-wheeler carrying produce caused a traffic jam early this morning. That crash happened around 1:45 in the 15,100 block of I-37 South. The police department says the big rig rolled over onto the highway for an unknown reason. The driver had to be pulled out from the top of the truck. EMS checked him out at the scene, said he was okay. No other injuries were reported.
Groundbreaking research to create an entirely new type of COVID vaccine happening right here in San Antonio, and the lead doctor is looking for locals to get involved. Our Courtney Friedman explains how this type of vaccine could actually mean fewer or even no booster shots in the future.
Current COVID vaccines have been extremely successful in preventing severe illness, but as we know, multiple boosters are part of the deal. But a research team right here in San Antonio might be helping change that.
This study, I think, could really be a breakthrough, a big breakthrough.
Dr. Sherwin Schwartz's team at Endeavor in San Antonio is one of only 10 locations hosting clinical trials of a brand new type of COVID vaccine.
We know the virus is like a ball with spikes on it.
Current vaccines target the spikes.
This is going to be a mechanism of action going after the ball, and the ball doesn't mutate as much. If this vaccine is going to work and not be affected by mutations, my gosh, we won't have to take one every year. Maybe every 2 or 3 years, I pray, once, one and done.
The research is new, and Schwartz says South Texans have a front row seat. Phase 1 of the clinical trial starts in just 2 weeks, so he's looking for volunteers right now. You must be 18 to 55 years old, have had 3 mRNA vaccine shots, which is Pfizer or Moderna, and you must be healthy with no underlying conditions.
We want to be sure that you don't have an underlying illness that's going to act like a side effect of the vaccine.
So if you participate, you'll come here to the office, get that 1 shot, and then you'll hang out here in this room for a few hours so they can monitor any side effects.
So if the study's successful in phase 1, we do phase 2, 3, the people of San Antonio will get first shot at this.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
All right, so if you want to volunteer, the number is right there on your screen. It's 210-880-9440. You can also sign up online at endeavorct.com. By the way, people are going to be compensated for both their time and transportation. We also have that information on KSAT.com.
Today, the last day of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we're following up with the survivor we first spoke to back in 2018, a San Antonio educator and former track star who made it to the Olympics. Alyssa Cole gives us an update on her 5-year recovery, her health, and now her journey to help others.
Donna Dennis' fast-paced life took a different speed when she was diagnosed with breast cancer in July 2017.
I can't run so much because my running days are pretty much over, bad knees, you know how that is. But the Peloton cycling and the walking, I do regularly.
She was a highly decorated track star from high school and college, then later went into modeling and acting. But today she's a decorated survivor. Dennis was declared in remission February 2018. In June of that same year, she spoke with KSAT for the first time, sharing her experience.
It's my biggest race that I've won. Yeah, it feels good.
Now, 4 years later, she's even more grateful to be in remission.
I'm looking at my life like, wow, I get a chance to see myself be a grandmother, but you couldn't tell me back then at 2017.
And she spends as much time as possible to share her experience of treatment and recovery to inspire others.
When I come across women that I know either are going through it now or are going to be going through it, I talk to them about it, give them my number, let them know you can call me anytime.
Today, her message to other women fighting breast cancer is this.
When it gets really tough, you pass that baton to your son, to your uncle, to your aunt, to someone. Let them hold it. Let them be brave for you, because you have to think positive. You have to know you're going to come out as a winner. You have to picture yourself winning.
Alyssa Cole, KSAT 12 News.
Picture yourself winning.
Yeah, I love that.
Me too. All right, Trans Guide right now. This is I-10 at Pressa. Don't love this. You can see traffic is very slow going in the right-hand lanes, and there's actually, it looks like some sort of a traffic accident or something going on the left side of the lane, left side as well. Traffic is moving, but it's moving very slowly. Again, this is I-10 at Pressa.
Taking a look outside with live cam, you can see that those clouds have started to increase around San Antonio. All of this ahead of some rain chances for us overnight. But as we wrap up October, it's been a dry month. Only an inch of rain for the month. That is almost 2 3/4 inches of rain in deficit. And as you know, it's been a bad year. A little bit more than 9 inches of rain so far for the entire year. Well below the average. The aquifer suffering, down 0.6 of a foot over the last 24 hours. At least we don't have high mold because of rainfall. Molds are low and ragweed is low as well in the pollen count. But overnight and early tomorrow, we do have better chances for rain. 60% scattered showers and storms in the overnight hours. I'll tell you whether or not that's going to affect your morning commute early tomorrow morning, coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Sarah. And still to come on the news at 6, a beloved San Antonio restaurant just celebrated 90 years in the business, but it has a problem. It's barely hanging on. What the owner is now counting on to help the business survive.
Damaged all right here and actually pushed the car physically out of the way.
All that happened while he was at work and his own employer was to blame. But this Via bus driver says that the company isn't covering the cost. Tonight on the Night Beat, why he says its offer is just not good enough. In other news now, it survived the Depression, 2 world wars, and saw San Antonio become the major city that it is today. Its loyal customers consider it a tricultural mecca for food. We're talking American, Chinese, Mexican food.
Yeah, yet Jesse Delgado tells us 90 years later, Golden Star Cafe at the gateway to the west side is just hanging on day by day.
Meant to bring good luck and drive away evil spirits, the traditional lion dance captivated guests, celebrating Golden Star Cafe's 90-year legacy, a legacy which is now in jeopardy.
I don't even know if I can make it 90 days, to tell you the truth.
The lunch crowd filling Golden Star's dining room, due in part to word of its 90th anniversary, has been a rare sight. Street construction being done in the name of progress has instead proven to be a major roadblock.
11 months into the construction, they're still calling here asking us if we're still open.
The 2017 bond project is on schedule, says San Antonio Public Works, but it won't be done for another 2 years. Golden Star, however, may not make it that long.
On a day-to-day basis, we are contemplating if we can still hang on. It's that serious.
Staffing shortages persist. With only 1 cook and 1 busboy, after the interview, Lim was going to go back to help in the kitchen.
We're going to try to make it work like we always do.
Through it all, Lim says she thinks of her grandfather's sacrifice and determination.
I feel like it's my obligation to continue on for him.
And her loyal employees.
They bring me the joy that I need when I am down.
And faithful customers like Arnold Ortiz, 63, who came here as a boy with his dad.
But they've been here forever. I hope they never go away.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
Wow, we certainly hope that they do stay in business.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, let's look at the Quarry Market, the movie theater down there, and it is Halloween.
Yeah.
A lot of little ghosts and goblins out, so if you're driving around, look out for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they're in search of candy.
Good advice there. And mostly trick-or-treating ends around 9, 10.
Yeah.
It's really after that we'll start to see some scattered showers and storms. But we are seeing some sprinkles out there across the KSAT 12 viewing area. For the day today, though, in San Antonio, it was a pretty mild and pleasant day outside. We got up to 80 degrees this afternoon for the high temperature, about 3 degrees above average, but this morning's low was pleasant at 53. All right, we're taking a look right here at Live Radar because I do want to show that there are some light rain showers and sprinkles for parts of Karnes County, southern Atascosa County, and the like. You can see moving through Kennedy right now into Karnes City is a light rain shower, off toward Yorktown as well, and in southern Atascosa County. Then off to the west, we're seeing more robust showers that have developed and scattered around the Rio Grande. Up toward Del Rio, you can see some light to moderate rain with one moderate rain shower just north of Comstock, just to the west of Devil's River State Natural Area. And again, right near the Del Rio area, that's where those little ghosts and goblins may actually need that light, the umbrella out there for the light rain. Otherwise, around San Antonio, it is quiet, although I bet you have noticed that the clouds have been increasing over the last couple of hours. Again, this is all ahead of a trough of low pressure, which is off to the west right now, just north of Presidio. It is going to be pushing east throughout the overnight hours, and that's why we're going to be seeing scattered showers and storms, even a few storms possible and developing in the overnight hours here in San Antonio. Again, this is a snapshot at 8 o'clock. Just in the next couple of hours, again, most of the robust showers should stay to the west of San Antonio. But as we get closer to midnight, a few scattered showers around San Antonio with even some rumbles of thunder out west toward Eagle Pass, Uvalde. As we get into the overnight hours, that should be pushing into San Antonio. Again, we've got about a 60% chance of scattered downpours. No severe weather is anticipated in San Antonio, but there could be a few rumbles of thunder. So if you have some light sleepers in the family, pets and kids alike, just know that you may get woken up by a rumble of thunder or two. Otherwise, again, this is a look closer to about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Most of the heavier rain will be pushing off to the east, and by the early morning commute, we'll still have some damp spots out there. And you know how it is whenever there's any little bit of rain in San Antonio during the morning commute, we end up having a little bit more traffic than usual. So take some time, maybe an extra 15 minutes to get to where you need to go early tomorrow. Most of that rain will be well east of San Antonio by the mid-morning hours, but clouds could stick around. Again, we'll have mostly cloudy skies for the day tomorrow. So here's what you should plan for. Overnight scattered rain. We don't anticipate a lot of rain, maybe a tenth to a quarter to even for some folks up to half an inch of rain in San Antonio. A damp morning commute is possible, so as I said, give yourself an extra 15 minutes, and we'll be watching for a few flashes of lightning, rumbles of thunder. When thunder roars, go indoors, you know the saying. And again, no severe weather is anticipated. In your KSAT 12-hour forecast, early tomorrow morning, we'll call it about a 40% coverage in the early morning hours. It'll be in the 50s, so pretty cool in the early morning hours with that dampness out there too. Right around noon, we'll be at 65 degrees, no rainfall into the afternoon, and a high temperature of 72. Notice that tomorrow, it's actually going to be a little bit warmer up near Kerrville, Rock Springs, and the Hill Country, upper 70s rather than the low 70s. That's because our friends up in the Hill Country are going to have a little bit extra sunshine. The rest of us, however, will be mostly cloudy with temperatures in the low 70s. Coming up, we'll talk a little bit more in depth about potential rainfall later tonight and in the overnight hours. It'll be humid by Thursday and Friday, and our next shot at storms really comes Friday night into Saturday morning, but a beautiful weekend on the docket.
Could be rumbling tonight, though.
A few rumbles are possible. Yep.
All right. Thank you, Sarah.
For that. Thank you. Well, we're hoping that the road runners come in hot this week. They had a little bit of a break.
Yeah. You know, if any team in the country needed a bye week, it was the UTSA Roadrunners who were really banged up, especially on their offensive line. When we come back, they're rested and ready to go for the Final Four. What does Jeff Traylor think of their next opponent, UAB? And the Aggies are in turmoil. Coming up. After having a week off to try and heat up, the UTSA Roadrunners go back to work this week to kick off their final 4 games of the season, starting with the University of Alabama at Birmingham. The Roadrunners have the only undefeated record in Conference USA at 4-0 to go along with their 6-2 overall record, while UAB is 2-3 in conference, 4-4 overall. Despite their record, Roadrunners head football coach Jeff Traylor says they will have their hands full.
They're the #1 conference leading defense. They have the #1 runner in the country at running back. They have the #1 receiver in the country at yards per catch. They're getting their starting quarterback back this week. They're undefeated at home. They're 27-3 at home. Since 2017, they've been the best team in the conference. A lot of respect for them. When the season started, y'all asked me who I thought the best team in the conference was. I thought they should have been picked to win it. I still stand by going into UAB. It's not just an opinion. It's factual. It's one of the toughest places to play in the country.
All right, kickoff on Saturday on the road, except for 2:30. Like the Roadrunners, the Texas Longhorns are coming out their bye week after a disappointing loss to the Oklahoma State Cowboys 41-34, and the schedule does not get any easier. Now the Horns have to take on 13th-ranked Kansas State on the road this Saturday, where UT will be 7.5-point underdogs. That's because the Wildcats are second in the Big 12 with a 6-2 overall record, 4-1 in conference play, compared to the Horns in fourth at 5-3 and 3-2 in the Big 12. Freshman quarterback Quinn Ewers will be looking to bounce back from arguably his worst performance of the season, where he threw 2 touchdown passes but gave up 3 interceptions.
Playing quarterback, like I've said before, when we win, you probably get too much credit. And when you lose, you probably get too much blame. And you have to be careful to ride that emotional roller coaster of the highs and the lows of the perception from the outside. And you need to go to work every single day and keep the noise quiet and know that myself, the coaching staff, the team is in the foxhole with him, and that we'll go to battle with him every day.
All right, kickoff in Manhattan on Saturday set for 6 p.m. No one saw this coming. The Fighting Texas Aggies started the season as a 6th-ranked team in the nation after recording the nation's best recruiting class with 8 5-star players. Now they're in 6th place in the SEC West with a 3-5 overall record and just 1-4 in conference play. And to make matters worse, they're now on a 4-game losing streak and will need to win 3 of their last 4 games just to become bowl eligible. The Aggies are coming off a 31-28 loss to Ole Miss, where head coach Lane Kiffin admitted after the game that Jimbo Fisher's clown act comments about him and Nick Saban over the feud of NIL, so their signing class served as extra motivation for him. The good news is the Aggies have found a starting quarterback in Connor Wegman against the Rebels. What did Jimbo think of his performance?
He's a hard worker, and he has a natural knack to do things. He has a feel for things and an instinctive part of the game that he really natural at what he does. He's accurate with what he does. And again, he's played 1 game, and I don't listen, that's just let him be a freshman and play his 2nd game and let him keep playing. But I'm extremely happy, and I love coaching the guy. I mean, he is really fun to coach.
All right, next up for the Aggies, they host Florida at 11 a.m. on Saturday. A week before, they travel to Auburn after the Tigers fired their head coach today, Brian Harsin, after less than 2 seasons. And World Series Game 3 between the Astros and the Philadelphia Phillies has been postponed until tomorrow. That's after inclement weather, including more rain forecast there in Philadelphia, wrapped it up for them early tonight. So tomorrow, Game 3.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Yeah. By the way, coming up in the next half hour, we're going to take a look at the history and the origin of popular sweet treats in South Texas. KSAT explains Mexican candy after the break.
Today, obviously, a day dedicated to candy. Halloween often brings up some nostalgia. You know, we think about our childhood, the kind of candy that we used to get all the time during Halloween. Now, for many in South Texas, Mexican candy is a big favorite and also a big tradition.
Yeah, today the flavors have made their way into restaurants, ice cream, even bars. Patty Santos explains the history, the origins, and how Mexican candy has become part of Mexican American and South Texas culture.
From the sweet to the sour to the spicy, the flavors of Mexican candy are familiar to most South Texans.
The sour, the little kind of spicy chili.
And behind the flavors of all these snacks is a rich storied history that includes innovation and evolution.
I think the most interesting thing about Mexican candy is that it runs the gamut from sweet to sour to salty to spicy.
That range of flavor has been around from the beginning. Sugar wasn't introduced to Mexico until the Spanish arrived in the 1500s, but even before then, indigenous people enjoyed sweets.
They would have candy made out of fruit, candy made sweetened with honey, so it's very natural. And I still think that's an element that runs through most of the Mexican candy.
One of the early candies involved mixing seeds from the amaranth plant with honey and fruit. These candies exist still today and are known as alegrías. Another that you are undoubtedly familiar with, chocolate.
Chocolate does not come from Switzerland. Chocolate comes from Mexico.
There is evidence that people living in present-day Mexico were producing chocolate as early as 1900 BC. They ground the cacao beans and made it into a beverage by adding water. And at some point, they also added another ingredient to give it that chocolate kick.
I think the Aztecs are so brilliant, they started adding a little bit of hot chili to it. And so the frothy hot chocolate then has a spicy flavor.
And when the Spanish arrived in Mexico in 1519, so did sugar. The fusion of the two cultures led to the creation of many more treats like bocadas and camotes.
And the camotes are sweet potatoes, chunks of sweet potatoes that have been cooked in a sugar syrup.
Another sweet that remains popular to this day is often found in ice cream and or flan, dulce de leche, caramelized milk and sugar.
And boy, is that one good. Then started adding pecans to it and making it into a praline sort of a thing.
Some of the sugary creations aren't meant to be tasted at all. Calaveras or sugar skulls have been around since the early 1700s. They're used to decorate ofrendas for Dia de Muertos. Another fusion of culture is also to thank for another Mexican candy standout, chamoy. Chamoy's roots are actually in Asia.
And it all started with the Japanese, they call it the Japanese salted plum, which is actually in reality an apricot, a sour apricot. They take it, they dry it out. Traditionally, they would dry it in the sun, process it, mash it, cook it with chilies and citruses.
And so then that comes to the Americas, and we started adding the chili flavor to it. The other one is tamarindo.
Tamarindo comes from the tamarind tree. The fruit produces a sweet and sour pulp that can be turned into beverage or candy. It's commonly used to cover fruit and lollipops. Chamoy and tamarindo are both good options for those who want to avoid anything too sweet or empalagoso.
So Mexicans said, oh, I don't want the candy to be that sickening sweet, so we're going to add a punch to it. The punch can be the chili, or it can be the salt, or it can be the sour part.
We have Mexican candy, American candy, and our own candy that we make.
Alamo Candy Company is a staple in San Antonio. It's been around for almost 30 years. Many adult customers here remember these candies as kids.
Literally, I have the memories of hearing the ice cream man go down our street and hearing him being oh, and asking my mom for $1 just so I can go get this candy.
Everybody loves their sweet, sour, and spicy too.
Some of the popular ones, saladitos, salted plums, pulparrindo, which comes in different flavors, vero mango, chili-covered mango lollipops, rebanaditas, chili-covered watermelon lollipops.
And it's just everybody loves it, to the little kids all the way to adults.
Mexican candy can't be described with one word. It's a question that stumped Diego Venado, owner of La Dulceria on Bassey Road.
En mi experiencia, es una explosión como de sabores.
All of the candy is imported from Mexico. Even if you're not a fan of the spicy sweet mix, it's a good bet. There's still a Mexican candy for you.
No siempre son paletas cubiertas de chile y en el centro dulce. Ver esa felicidad en el cliente que le gusta encontrar, recordar, yo creo que eso es lo que nos mantiene en el negocio.
Traditional flavors continue to evolve and migrate. They're not just in candy stores. Mangonadas are the #1 treat sold at the Mangonada ice cream shop at the corner of Culebra Road and San Joaquin Avenue.
I love the taste of the mangonada.
It's the sweet, salty, and picosito taste that people love. Chamoy is what gives it that special taste. Chamoy City Limits experiments with pickling different fruits like strawberries and mangoes for the chamoy creations.
And they're like super, super secret. Like I keep my recipe book in my safe. And I don't even say what's on the bottle. I know that when people come to the shop, a lot of people from the Valley will say, oh, this is just like the Valley, but not exactly like the Valley. And I say, yeah, it's a San Antonio style, because I think that each region takes its own style.
As chamoy continues to grow in popularity, the people we talked with who have been in the business for years say that's a good thing. But as with any food, they hope there's recognition and appreciation for where it came from.
What a great story on Halloween. Expect a new KSAT Explains every Monday right here on the News at 6. In the meantime, you can scan the QR code on your screen to see past topics we've covered. We'll be right back. Now to a breakthrough in the Delphi double murder investigation.
More than 5 years after 2 young girls vanished while hiking in Indiana, a man is now in custody in connection with that case. ABC's Rena Roy has the story.
5 years later, a major break in the so-called Delphi murders. Indiana State Police arresting 50-year-old Richard Allen for the killings of 8th graders Abby Williams and Libby German.
Today is not a day to celebrate, but the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi on 2 counts of murder is sure a major step in leading to the conclusion of this long-term and complex investigation.
13-year-old Williams and 14-year-old German mysteriously vanished after going for a hike on a day off from school back in February of 2017 in Delphi, about 70 miles north of Indianapolis. The bodies of the best friends were found the next day on Valentine's Day.
We've never forgotten them. Everybody's going to keep them in their minds forever.
The murders rattling the small, tight-knit town of just about 3,000 people. Allen, taken into custody last week, is a member of the Delphi community who worked at a local CVS. Police have sifted through a substantial amount of evidence, including thousands of tips and a digital trail from German. In 2017, they released this grainy image of a suspect who police say was on the trail the day the girls went missing. 2 years later, releasing this brief video clip taken from German's phone. This chilling recording thought to be the killer's voice. German's sister tweeting, "We got him." Allen is being held without bond and has pleaded not guilty. His trial is set to begin in March. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
All right, now we're going to take a live look outside right here near the airport. 75 degrees right now, and you know what? It's looking more like Halloween, right? With those clouds.
It is.
And the earlier sunset also helps.
Right. Even this morning, the sunrise was this orangey hue because of clouds out there. And speaking of clouds have been increasing around San Antonio. Here's a look at the satellite imagery over just the last couple of hours or so. You can see how we're just now starting to see these clouds move into Gonzales County near Seguin, too, and New Braunfels. Outside right now, it's 77 cloudy degrees. Dew points are pretty low at the moment. Over the next couple of hours, we could have some sprinkles, but spotty light rain will start closer to 10. And overnight, we're expecting scattered showers and even a few rumbles of thunder. I'll tell you what you need to know for the overnight hours and the morning commute tomorrow, coming up in just a bit.
There are pumpkin carving contests, and then there are pumpkin carving contests. In the Florida Keys, they do them a little differently. Under the waves, the annual underwater pumpkin carving contest Saturday featured 18 scuba divers in the competition.
Because why not, right? Competitors carved their jack-o'-lanterns near Horseshoe Reef, about 5 miles off of Key Largo. 25 feet below the surface, the divers created everything from sharks to jellyfish to pirate pumpkins. And curious saltwater fish swam close to nibble on the bits that floated off. So everybody won here. They got a little something, a little snack.
Yeah. They were just fishing for compliments.
Oh.
I was going to say, I bet those fish like those guts.
What's left? Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, they're pretty cute.
Yeah.
Win-win. And hey, some rain gauges will get some rain tonight, and that's a win for us as well. Now, of course, it won't be enough to really majorly help us out with the drought situation, but it's something. Taking a look at the radar right now, you can see we've actually got some showers that are pushing into parts of Karnes and DeWitt counties right now, close to Yorktown and Karnes City. By the way, these are pretty light rain showers, but what I can do is I can track them. They're moving to the northeast at about 20 miles per hour. And again, they're pretty light, so we may not see all that much on there, but it's moving into Cuero pretty much right now as we speak. But areas near Karnes County are getting some decent rain as well right now. This is still quite a ways away from San Antonio, so we do not anticipate any light rain in San Antonio until probably after 10 o'clock. But we are seeing some heavier rain showers and even a rumble of thunder out west. Take a look toward Del Rio and parts of Maverick County. We're seeing some of these showers that have been moving through Del Rio here, right near 77, just south of Lake Amistad, right near Comstock as well. And then there's one thunderstorm in the northwestern part of Devil's River State Natural Area. You can actually see a few flashes of lightning there. Again, we are not going to be seeing any kind of severe weather tonight, but there could be a few rumbles of thunder in the overnight hours, all because of this low pressure system that is pushing into Texas as we speak right now. And overnight, it's going to be moving through Texas closer to San Antonio. You can see a lot of the energy is right closer to this low pressure system. So as it gets closer to us, we're going to be seeing showers and storms develop. Here's a look at the futurecast. This is a snapshot closer to about midnight. Scattered showers around San Antonio, perhaps a few rumbles of thunder out to the west. And then in the overnight hours, closer to 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, that's when you may hear some thunder around San Antonio. Notice there's going to be a few bald spots around the area. We're not going to be seeing rain everywhere around San Antonio, but there is a chance for those scattered showers and storms, about 60% in the overnight hours. As we head closer to dawn, notice that some of the heavier rain is east of San Antonio, but we're still going to have scattered rain out there. So that means a bit of a damp morning commute in places. Give yourself a little extra time to where you need to go in the early morning hours tomorrow. But all the heavier rain will be pushing east of San Antonio right around sunrise and shortly after. Then by mid-morning, we'll see our rain come to an end around San Antonio, but some clouds will stick around. Mostly cloudy skies in San Antonio, but notice in the hill country, we're probably going to have one of those days where half of the KSAT 12 viewing area enjoys sunshine and the rest will be in some cloud cover. As far as rainfall goes, again, this is not going to help us out in a major way with the drought, but we'll take anything we can get. Widespread, a few tenths of an inch possible. Some lucky locations around San Antonio, up to half an inch of rain. Heavier amounts out west toward Del Rio, perhaps up to an inch of rain out there, and up to 2 inches of rain south of Corpus Christi. That's where we'll really see the heavier rainfall. In your KSAT 12-hour forecast, 40% chance for scattered showers in the morning. It's going to be cool in the morning. You're going to need a light jacket early in the morning tomorrow. Then around noon, that's when we're really going to see most of the rain east of San Antonio. It'll be in the 60s. And for the afternoon, high temperature 72. By the way, the average high for the first day of November is 77. So tomorrow will be about 5 degrees cooler than average. We'll have clouds on Wednesday, more humid weather on Tuesday and Thursday. Only an isolated shower Thursday and Friday. But Friday night, that's when our next window of storms is for us. We'll be able to refine that forecast as we get closer to the weekend. But the weekend looks gorgeous.
We still need rain.
We really do.
That's the bottom line. Yeah.
Driest year to date so far.
Thank you. In case you missed it, coming up next.
It is Monday, Halloween, October 31st.
An all clear has been given after a false report of a shooting at Central Catholic High School. It drew a massive police response.
Within an hour of the call coming in just before 2:30 this afternoon, that call was described as a spoofing call from one of the officers on the scene. McManus says the call originally said multiple students had been shot. Again, this was completely false. No students or staff were hurt. All of the students and teachers were were cleared from the school and taken to the fire station just across the street. About an hour after the call came in, the school was cleared and students were taken back to the school for attendance to be taken. The district issued a statement that all students were accounted for.
And many delays after an 18-wheeler full of produce rolled over on I-37. The crash happened early this morning in the 15,100 block of Interstate 37 South. According to police, the big rig rolled over onto the highway, causing delays. The cause remains undetermined, and police say the driver was checked out by EMS after firefighters had to pull him out of the top of the rolled 18-wheeler. No other injuries were reported.
Video released from just moments before this deadly bridge collapse. More than 130 people confirmed dead. Still unclear how many more are still missing. Now, officials say around 200 people were on this bridge when it collapsed just yesterday. A cable at one end appeared to have snapped.
There are pumpkin carving contests, and then there's underwater pumpkin carving.
So in the Florida Keys, the annual underwater pumpkin carving contest featured 18 scuba divers in the competition.
The divers created everything from sharks to jellyfish to pirate pumpkins.
Overnight, scattered showers and perhaps a rumble of thunder are possible, but no severe weather is anticipated. As rain moves off to the east early tomorrow morning, there will be damp spots across the community for the morning commute. Then our next shot at rain, at least decent chance of rain, is going to be Friday night into Saturday morning.
Happy Halloween. We'll see you on the night feed.